wow. I've just been blown away these past 2 days. I mean, just the team, the vision, everything coming together is just, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. It's a feeling that we were waiting for a long time. And right now we are living it. This is what we felt and were imagining. And really, when you talk about manifesting it, and we did. And all together, really, so much.
How actually, so I want to hear this. So tell me the beginning of the story. It's like, how did you come together? How did you build this team? Like, tell me, guys.
It's a nice story. I meet Alfred 1 year before. I know him. He come to me and he say to me, Pirmin, I have some special products and I know that you are in a marketing system that you can sell them. Can you help me to sell them? And we start about talking about the products, what he has, what he do. And every time when we meet us, he come with a new idea. And every time my eyes open like this. But I think the most important point, it's coming when I fly with my parents, with Julia, to Munich. I go to pick up a car and I stay there. While I lose the key, I have to go back in the airport to take the key for the car. I come out and behind me some guy, Pirmin is here. And I just looking like this and I say yes. And Alfred stay behind me. And then he said, but it's not impossible that we see us now in Munich. It's a big airport, just to pick up the car. And he said, no, now we have to talk, we have to drink something together. And then we go to a nice restaurant and then he speak about the virtual university. He speak about a change where you can give the peoples what don't having so many money or so, what are good in his head to study. All this what we want, and this is what I feel every time in my life, that I can get some knowledge from the best. How I say in English, my English is not the best. Yes, the best teachers in the world, and with the virtual university, I understand it that we really can open all this what a guy or a human need. To be the best in himself, and I know it that I can't handle it. Why? It's huge. It's really huge, and for this I start thinking, and I have it every time in my back, and I go forward with the project as I said. And one time, it's coming a call, and this call I will never forget. Well, this guy see it here on the right side. He called for other things, while we know us a long time. And also in this time when we speak together, we talk on the phone just 2-3 minutes and I feel like I find my brother, he has the same things, everything. And in this time he said to me, it's past 5 years ago, he said to me, one time when we have the right thing, we will work together. Now you have to know. 5 years we don't hear each other, and then coming this phone call, and he told me, "Hey, Pirmin, how are you? How it's Manuel?" Every time with full energy, and I say, "It's very well. How are you?" And then we speak about the other things, and then I say, "Manuel, you have time. You can come to South Korea that we meet each other. I think I have something what I have to tell you." And he's coming. He stay there. And we speak about all the things, what he do, what I do. And then, on the moment, we come to the point where we speak about the virtual university. And then I see his eyes. Where he actually understands what we talk about it. And then I say, Manuel, what do you think? Is this now the time that we start together? And I say to him, I prepared already also some coin or something that we can start it now. And he looked, really? And I say, yes. And this is the moment where we say, this is what I ever want also to do. And then I say, hey, let's do it. And in this moment I know my game, it's over now. My limit is there to bring people together. And this is now the game from Manuel. And he started but I don't want Dolch into this. You have behind him. Let Dolch the story again. From him, he can explain better, I think.
What happened then when you met Pirmin and he brought you into this? And tell me also, how did it feel like when you had that first meeting and you like what went on inside you when he told you about it?
Yeah. When we got to talk, as he mentioned it before, that so many years ago, that in 5-6 years, it's quite a lot of time. In 5-6 years, there can be huge changes. And it still stays always this fact in the subconscious, probably, of Pirmin and me, that one day we will work together. When there is the right time, we will work together. We will find something which attracts us both. Both we wanted since we were very young. We are from the same province, very small province. Everybody, it's province like all over the world, but the people tell you you can't do things, don't dream too big, stay in your place, get a good job, get a good salary, have a good life. And when you talk with them about dreams and about vision and about changing the world, they like look at you like crazy and all this. But we know about that. And so you got like this phone call. It was like, Manuel, you have to come. And I was like, yeah, shit, of course, I don't care. I drive from Rome back to my home in 7 hours. And I just go there to meet him for an hour because it was not more needed. And from that day on, we spoke about everything. And then we get into this world university that he wanted me to be in charge of and to build up this huge project and to build this platform for everybody with all the possibilities of the Nobel Prize winners that he mentioned. I was like, what do we have? What is this exclusive rights? What is this best universities? And yeah, of course I want to handle this. It's like, because it was one thing that I always have dreamt of, like to change and help to adapt and change the education system to make it to nowadays, because the education system is obsolete. It's like, I mean, we are learning, we don't need to talk about this, will be in another video. This is now about the story that the education system, what we have been learning the past 200 years, it's only knowledge and it won't help us, machines will take over. And we want to avoid this and to focus again more on soft skills and all the feelings. This is what you asked me. And this was exactly my feeling. And it's like, I was like glowing and my eyes were like, my God, I can do this now. I can be in charge of it and I can build it up. And hell yes, Pirmin, let's do this. We go against the world. We don't care. 2 boys from South Tyrol will rock the world and we will create this together. And at the same time, since in 1.5 years, I'm very, very interested in blockchain and cryptocurrency and this change, what is happening in the world. And I had this also in my back of the mind. In 1-2 years, I want my own cryptocurrency with a huge project. And it was like, yeah, maybe in 2 years time, 3 years time, who knows, I will have it. And then Pirmin comes up with this, yeah, let's have a cryptocurrency for our university. Let's think about it. Let's think of it. And that's how Socratescoin was born. And we masterminded, brainstormed on the phone, like, how should we call it? How should we call it? I mean, yeah, it's the coin of knowledge. Who better than Socrates? Everybody knows Socrates. So we call it Socratescoin. And then we got also to the code name. What should we call it? What should we call it? Yeah, I studied Latin. So we said, yeah, sapientia means knowledge in Latin. So we call our code name is Sapis. So our tokens are called Sapis, and it will be the coin of knowledge and the payment method of the worldwide online university called NAUKA. And NAUKA is an amazing word as well of our founder and chairman Alfred, that he gave us this possibility because the Russian word science, NAUKA, it is a perfect brand that I can just feel it and make it grow and bring it and make it grow so nicely. And then we put these 2 things together, the cryptocurrency and the online education, virtual university, 3D, VR, and everything together will be a mixture of 3D knowledge brought to the people and the possibility of this high-level education to bring it to everybody. And there should not be a difference between Asia, America, oh, I studied there, it's better than in Africa. No, because they're all bright minds that we can find all over the world, and we can help them to bring this education to everybody. And they don't need to get in debt to go to university or to college. They can have it for a reasonable price. And they can have the possibility to stay at their homes with our VR environment and the 3D goggles, so that they can study from home, and they can feel to be in the classroom. And I think like also all this together, that was where we were building it, and we were like so into it and getting it out there and done. And while we were doing it, we were having so many meetings, and all the things came, and we manifested it. We really manifested it and attracted what we needed on the go, and it's coming now also, these 2 days, and how many people we meet, and everything what is coming. It's putting together the puzzle which we are creating, which we want to build, and where we want to build the legacy for the next 10, 20, 30 years, because it's all about building a legacy. It's not about me and Pirmin anymore. Now it's about that we bring this NAUKA brand and have a whole legacy behind it. So this is our story and how we got here, and it's also very important because I want to acknowledge always the fact of the team and of the people, that with this, me and Pirmin, we grow together. Like I would take a bullet for him, he would take a bullet for me, and we have our backs for everything. It doesn't matter. Maybe shit happens. There will be bad things. There will be bad things in business. It's always like this with people and everything. It doesn't matter. We tell each other, we trust each other. We have this layer of trust that where we know everything, whatever happens, we will find solutions, and we will make this grow and bring this to the world, to everybody.
Yes, amazing. Yeah, it's been quite a journey so far.
Very well.
But now I'm also wondering, Jeannie, you see the last 2 days, what's happening, and I can say by myself why Manuel talk about you on the phone. I speak with Jeannie, it's so amazing, and I'm really excited to know you. Well, 2 days before we don't know each other, and these 2 days just with you are for me so amazing. This energy, what's there in the team, and I won't call you now. What you feel when you stay with us together, or why you are now with us together?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of the stories are just, miracles in themselves. It's like, you forgot the key and you turn around and sort of, I think that was with us like that as well, just that I was resisting so hard. I was resisting the story, and I didn't know what was about to happen. And the funny thing is actually I was building my own university. So I started building Genie Uni because I had this idea of creating a social media university. And so I was already in that mindset of what I was creating. And I think so my plan was to move to Italy. And I don't know why. There's no reason for it. It was just, I felt something pulling me that I should be there. I was living in London. I'd grown my company there. And so it would only naturally make sense that I keep on staying there. I had all the connections. I had invites to everything, all the press events, premieres, you know what I mean? Like I had the network, but I was like, no, that's boring. Let me start new. Like why, if I'm on top, better leave then. So I was like, let me go to Rome where I don't know anybody, don't speak the language. And I want to create something there. I want to start a new life. And so Manuel, I don't know how we were connected.
You needed a lawyer.
Exactly, yeah, but I don't know how we were. Maybe somebody tagged you or something.
Tagged something.
Yes. So I was getting a contract with this villa in Italy, and they were sending me the contract in Italian, and I couldn't read it. And so I was just like, do you have someone in Italian that could read through this contract to know that it's legit and everything's fine? So Manuel messaged me and he's like, send it over. And I was like, I don't know this person. Like, that's really nice of him, And so, I sent him the contract and he, gave me feedback and all that. And then we didn't really hear from each other much. And then I was traveling. I was, hosting an event in Jamaica, and then I was in the States. Like I was everywhere. And then he messages me. He's like, when are you coming? When are you going to be in Rome? I want to meet you. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, sure. And then, cause I didn't, I was like, I don't know this guy. What are we going to talk about? Like, why does he want to meet me? So he kept on writing me. He's like, oh, are you in Rome already? And I was like, yeah. I just kept on postponing, but he kept on being so insistent of meeting me and talking to me. And I was just like, then I told him, I was like, well, what are you doing? Like, what are your projects? And like, what do you have going on? I was just like, cause for me, like, my time is, very valuable. I want to put it into the things that I really, I don't just want to, for nothing. Anyways. So then he's like, oh, I'm working on some crypto projects here and there and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Good for you. And then, but he kept on writing me, and nobody was so insistent about meeting me. So finally I was like, okay, come to our house, you're in Rome, let's have a coffee, like let's sit down and meet. And so, we were having this meeting, scheduled, but then my uncle passed away a few days before the meeting. And so I had to fly to Germany for the funeral. So again, like fate stopped the meeting. And so you would have thought then, okay, then I messaged him. I canceled our meeting after him hunting me for like a month and a half or 2 months. And, me saying no. And then, he would then finally maybe be like, okay, it's not meant to be, But then my uncle passed away and I came back from the thing and there was a few days, right, after the funeral, etc. And I didn't say anything, you know what I mean? I wasn't like, okay, I'm back. But then he came again and he said, hey, he's like, I'm still here. I'm not going away. I was like, okay, you win. We have to meet apparently. And so then we booked another meeting and then, and I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea. I just thought, I was making another connection in Rome. We'll see how we can, kind of be friends or, work together in some ways or whatever. And then he comes in and I remember I was still like getting changed and like Oscar opens the door and I was like, I was like, Manuel's coming. And I told him like in the room, I was like, okay, he's been chasing me for ages. I was like, I don't know why. I don't know what this guy wants, but I was like, be super nice to him, And so he comes to the door and he opens up and then I remember he lets you in and Lettuce comes and then he comes back to me. He's like, he's the nicest guy ever. He's so great. He's so nice. And he's like, his energy is just great. And I was like, okay, I was like still suspicious, So I like walk out and then he was sitting there on the couch with Lettuce and they were talking. And I was just like, like I was just analyzing you, like I was just like totally scanning, just like, waiting for something. And then, I remember the first thing I said to you, you were talking about, connections in Rome and everything is about community, etc. And I was just like, oh, like very political or something like that. And you're like, no, not at all. So like I was just like, we were just kind of like headbutting. And then I was just like, okay, just calm down and just actually listen, I was like, listen, like receive him, be present, like connect with your energy. And he's just like talking and I was like, God, this guy talks a lot, but he was talking but then I was just like, but just listen to what he's saying. And then you were just like, flow, 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 flow. And I was like, I can hear you talk all day, you know what I mean? Because I'm a big talker as well, But I was just like, I was really listening to you and I was like, this he's different. Like, he's extraordinary. There's something, I can feel this soul. And you started telling me the projects and what you were doing. And I didn't think that I would be involved in these projects. I thought you were just telling me about what we were doing and we were telling you about what we're doing and just kind of, but the more and more you told me, I was like, this is the change that the world needs. This is the change that we've been waiting for. This is the answer, right? To the paradigm shift that is currently happening in our evolution as humans, as we are upgrading, but the system is not supporting that. It's not giving us enough room to fly. We don't have enough highway, and the speed limits are too low that we can't go as fast as we want to, right? And that's the thing. And so what we're doing is we're saying, okay, well, we want to continue up-leveling society from our skill set, from our souls, from the community that we're creating, and we want to reach a higher paradigm. And where we need to start is in education, is in giving everybody the resources. And now, with all the different projects that SpaceX is doing to put the balloons of internet, everything, we're going to have Wi-Fi in the Sahara Desert. It's like, that is the one thing. Like, internet is our new water, right? It's our new resource that we need. And so with that being distributed all over the world and us creating a platform online where everyone can have access, we are treating the problem at the source, right? We are coming to that. And I truly believe also, and that's why Socratescoin is so important, is because it's creating a new democracy around payment where it's much more level, it's much more accessible, and it also speaks for the advancement in the technology. Yeah. And so once all these things came together in my mind, I just said to him, I was just like, let me know how I can help. Let me know what I can do for you, because I was like, you've come to me with something, you've chased me for months, but because you actually had something really meaningful that you wanted to share, and for some reason, you were able to see me through the social media lens or whatever, and know that we were on the same frequency, that we shared the same passion, the same love to further humanity, right? Because that's what I do in my work. And so for me, like, as a person, I always have to come back to source, to flow, and say, how am I making an impact, right? What am I doing with my life, with my two hands, to actually not only benefit myself, but benefit the community that is around me, right? Because we are one human race, one planet, like one absolute infinite being together, a breathing organism, and so if we're not coming together and we're not supporting, then what are we doing with our time, and so I felt that, and it's been growing ever since, right? Because I was just like, every time we met, I'm just like, I feel so connected to this purpose and what we're creating and to the community, and I just feel so in alignment. And so more and more I was just like, Manuel, what more can I do? Okay, I want to be more involved, and so we're at the point where I'm just like, okay, well, the project that I was thinking before, with Genie Uni, like, this should be integrated, right? This is one whole thing. This is not about us creating a lot of different projects, but actually bringing it under one whole umbrella, all our creative ideas of how can we advance humanity. And so, yeah, that's why I'm here. And I'm excited, and I'm humbled, and I feel blessed.
Thank you, Genie. Yeah. That's perfect, and this is exactly why we are here, because we are in alignment, and I think one of our hashtag, as you would call it, would be synchronicity, because we spoke about this the first day we met, and there's also with Lattice, it's just like all the things what are happening, and all the single sources and everything what we are putting, exactly as you said, under one umbrella. This can create such an impact in the upcoming months and years for the generations now and the new generations, because this what we are building, as I explained it before, NAUKA, it will be a lifelong learning experience, because there is nothing, it's not possible anymore that you study 4 years, you go out of university. The world will be changed like completely in 4 years. It's like the other day we just checked, it was in the 2015 and 2016, there was more data created than the past 5,000 years. So how can you handle that? If you study 4 years, you're out of the system and you need to learn back in again. You just have a piece of paper, unfortunately, and you don't know what to do with it. And we can really have a change in this, in the people's life. And as we like to mention, I think also in our white paper that is on our website, you can find, and education is the weapon which can change the world, by Nelson Mandela. That's why we like that quote so much, and it's also one of our main quotes which we have in our white paper. It will be everywhere, as we want to help and really use education as the positive weapon to change the world.
Well, much more to come.
Lots to come.
Something to finish, like, because it's now 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should just like. Okay, I'll finish something. Okay, mi dai il 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is so amazing, and we had the pleasure, and we are so happy that we could be present at the Davis Cup, which is a huge event in sports, because sports is one of these skills, soft skills, which should be taught to people and younger generations, because there they can really learn and feel all their emotions and their growth. And I think this will be very, very interesting, as we will have many more events coming up in the upcoming months very soon, where we will prepare many, many interesting things, and where we will reveal exciting new technologies and bring them to the world. Thank you very much, Jenny, for being here. Pirmin, again, thank you for everything.
For what? Thank you, guys.